Hello students, I hope that you are good, well and fine. In today's session, we will be seeing about maxima and minima. Okay, clear? We will be seeing the first derivative theorem, what it says and how do we use in questions. Okay, so let's right jump to our first definition in today's topic. If f be a real valued function, I hope that you know the what do we mean by real valued function. Real valued function means the output or the range is from the real numbers. And take C be an interior point in the domain of F. What does this means? This means that C must belongs to the domain of F. Then A, A part, A part says C is called a point of local maxima. Local maxima if there is an H, positive H such that f of C is greater than or even equals to fx for every x in this interval. And what is this interval? Suppose this is your C, then if there is such H, suppose you have some positive H, okay, like this H, then moving H units to the right hand side, this point will be C plus H, and moving left hand side, okay, of the C, then this point will be C minus H. So in this interval we are talking about, take any point in this interval, okay, put in our function, and then the f of C, the value of our function at this point C will be the highest value or the greater or can be equal. Okay, I hope that it is clear to you. Okay, so then if this satisfy, then you can say your f of C is the local maximum value of f. Okay, then you can say that f of C is your local maximum value of f. Okay, now B part, C is a point of local minima. Now we are talking about local minima. If there exists an H positive such that what will happen, that f of C will be the less than or even equals to fx for every x in this domain. Okay, clear? So the only difference is f of C is greater than equals to in a local maxima, and in a local minima f of C is less than equals to. Okay, clear? Then you can say that your f of C is local minimum value of f. Okay, let us move next. Now geometrical interpretation will be what? So our thing says that if x is equals to C is a point of local maxima of f, then the graph of f around C will be what? Will be as shown in figure 6.2, like these. Okay, note that the function f is increasing, that is f dash prime x is positive in the interval C minus h to C, and decreasing in the interval C to C plus h. Okay, this suggests that f dash C must be 0. Okay, so what is happening? As you can see, what is happening if you try to see okay, if you try to see what is happening is that, look at the graph. So this, okay, so this is your C point. Okay, this is your C point. Clear? This is your C point. Okay, say this is your C minus h and this is your C plus h. Okay, then in this interval what is happening? f prime x is positive as graph is increasing. Okay, when graph increases, the f prime x or the first derivative is positive. And in this interval c to c plus h, the graph is decreasing, as you can see. That's why f prime x will be negative here. Okay, and the f dash c will be 0, as you can see. Okay, clear? Okay, now what? Now if you look at this graph, then what will happen? Then as you can see, the c minus h to c point, the graph is decreasing, but to c plus h, the graph is increasing. So that's why here at the left hand side at c, the f prime will be negative, but at the right hand side, f prime will be positive. Okay, at c it will be just equals to 0. Clear? Okay, so what it gives us? It gives us that in order to find local maxima or local minima, what you have to do, if there is local maxima, then what will happen? Then from interval c, we are talking about in context of local maxima. This is context of local maxima. If you are having some local maxima, then c minus h to c interval, your f dash must be positive, and c to c plus h, your f dash must be negative in case of maxima. If in case of minima, local minima, you will have c minus h to c decreasing. This means f prime x negative, but c to c plus h interval, f prime must be positive. Okay, clear? I hope that now you can easily find local maxima and local minima using the first derivative. Okay, you have to just verify that at the point C, you have to check at the right hand side and the left hand side. Okay, clear? Now let us move next. Now theorem, what theorem says? Your function f defined on an open interval. Okay, open interval. Suppose c belongs to this interval I. Okay, be any point from this interval. If f has a local maxima, or you can say local minima at c, then either f prime c is equals to 0, or f is not differentiable. Then this two, either of them will happen. Okay, clear? So either of them will happen. I hope that it is clear to you. If you take an example, two examples, so like this, and another example like this. You know, at this point you have what? At this point your derivative is 0. This is a parabola x square. Yes, at this point the derivative is 0, f prime 0 is equals to 0, but here it is not defined. Here it is not defined, not differentiable. You know, modulus function at 0 is not differentiable. Clear? Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now I hope that theorem is very clear to you. If you are having local maxima or local minima, this means either your function is not differentiable or f prime c will be 0. In this way, by using this theorem, you can easily find your maximum value and local minimum value. Okay? Okay, let us move next. Now remark, the converse of the above theorem need not to be true. Why I am saying that? It is quite simple. From this example, if you see, converse means what? If the derivative is 0, suppose if the derivative is 0, okay, then can it be true that we are having local maxima or minima? No. Why? As you can see using this example. Okay, if what is your f prime x? It will be 3x square. This means f prime 0 will be what? 0. But as you can see, f prime is equals to 0 at 0, but this point is not your maximum or not your minimum value. Okay, so we have a counter example for the converse of the above theorem. So a point at which the derivative vanish need not to be point of local maxima or local minima, need not be a point. Okay, for example, f x is equals to x cube, then f prime will be 3x square, f prime 0 will be 0, but 0 is neither a point of local maxima nor a point of local minima. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear to you. The remark, so the previous theorem converse is not true, as you can have an example. Okay, fx is equals to x cube. Now some notes. A point C in the domain of a function f at which either f prime c is equals to 0. Okay, f or f is not differentiable. We call them a point critical points. We call such points critical points. Okay, so a point C in the domain of f at which function is either not differentiable, okay, or the differentiate or the derivative at that point is equals to 0, then we will be calling them as such points critical points. Okay, note that if f is continuous at C and f dash C is equals to 0, then there exists h positive such that f is differentiable in the interval this. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, clear? Okay, now so I hope that this note is very clear to you. Let us move next. The first derivative test. What first derivative test says? Let f be a function defined on an open interval I. Let f be a continuous at critical point C in I. Then what will happen? First, f prime x change sign from positive to negative as x increases. Okay, f prime x change sign from positive to negative as x increases through C. Okay, that is, if f prime x is greater than 0 at every point sufficiently close to and to the left of C, okay, and f dash x is negative at every point sufficiently close to and to the right of C, then C is point of local maxima. What it says is, as you can also see from this graph, let me draw the sum part of this graph, okay, for this point only. So what is this saying? That C is a point of critical, it is a critical point, okay, and it is a continuous. This means, okay, this means this will be your some, you are having some continuous graph. Suppose like this, you are having some continuous graph like this. This value is what? Your f of C. Now as you can see, this is your C minus h and this is your C plus h. Okay, now what? Now in this interval, if you try to see what is happening, your graph is increasing. Graph is increasing means f prime in this interval will be positive, and in this part your graph is decreasing. So in this part your f prime is negative. Okay, if f prime left, if you move left to right towards C and f prime is positive, if you move left to right towards C and f prime is positive if these two conditions satisfies, then okay, clear? If this condition satisfies, so first condition. Now second condition, if you move what, right to left, if you move right to left towards C, we are in both the cases we are moving towards C, okay, towards C, but here right to left, and in this interval right to left, if you have f prime negative, and then these two condition if satisfied, then you can say that your C point is a point of maxima. Okay, clear? A point of local maxima. I hope it is clear to you. The same thing will be can be said about what, minimum. How? As you can see, but in minimum you will have like this, okay, that in this interval, in this, if you move left to right towards C, in this you will have f dash negative, but from right to left towards C, in this interval you have f prime positive. As you can see, the graph is decreasing, here the graph is increasing, okay. And also, as you can see, everything is already given here. Point of local maxima. Why? Because at f dash c1 it is equals to 0, yes, and left to it the graph is increasing, and right to it the graph is decreasing. This point, as you can see, point of f dash c2 is equals to 0. This means point of local minimum. Why? Because the left side the graph is decreasing, but the right side the graph is increasing. At this point the function is not differentiable, but as you can see, the left side the graph is increasing, but the right side the graph is decreasing. Same at C4, the point is not differentiating. Sorry, the function is not differentiating at this point, but at the left hand side the graph is decreasing, but the right hand side the graph is increasing. Okay, that's why it is minimum. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. I hope it is very clear to you. Let us move next. Now, first derivative theorem, what it says, first derivative theorem. As we saw just first point, now second point. For the minimum, f prime x change sign from negative to positive if sign change from negative to positive as x increases through C. This means if f prime x is negative at every point sufficiently close to the left of C, and f prime is positive at every point sufficiently close to and to the right of C, then C is a point of local minima. Local minima means if you move left to right towards C and right to left, then from left to right, what will happen? The sign must be what? If you are having minimum, then the sign must be from negative to positive. The sign change from negative to positive in local minima. Okay. Now third thing, f dash x. Okay, f dash x does not change sign as x increases through C, then the C point is neither point of local maxima nor point of local minima. In fact, such point is called a point of inflection. Such points we will be calling them as point of inflection. Okay, clear? I hope that it is clear to you. Okay, let us move next. Note, if C is a point of local maxima, if C is a point of local maxima of f, then f of C is a local maximum value of f. Okay, if C is a point of local maxima, then f of C will be the local maximum value of f. Similarly, if C is a point of local minima of f, then f of C will be the local minimum value of f. Clear? Very simple note is given here. If C is your local maxima point, this means the f of C will be the local maximum value of f, and if C is the local minima of f, then f of C will be the local minimum value of f. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now let's see an example. Find all points of local maxima, local minima of the given function. So first of all, you have to do what? The first derivative. The first derivative is just nothing but 3x square minus 3. Okay, take 3 common, what you will have, and x square minus 1 can be rewritten as x minus 1 and x plus 1. Then put it equals to 0 to find your point of inflections, point of maxima, point of minima, these points. Okay, so putting f dash x equals to 0, you will have x equals to 1 and minus 1. Now what you have to check is for f of minus 1. Okay, now for this is your what? F dash x sign. Okay, positive or negative. Okay, for x is equals to 1. Okay, we are checking for x is equals to 1. This interval is what? You can say 1 minus h from left to right. This interval is this, and now the right to left approach towards C will be 1 plus h form. Okay, clear? Now if you are in this interval left to 1, this means this will be what? This will be what? Negative. If you take any number less than 1, okay, so this will be negative. Yes, but this will be positive. The whole thing will be negative. In this interval, the sign is negative. Okay, this means your graph is decreasing. Your graph is somewhat like decreasing. But if you are in this interval greater than 1, then it will be positive. Take any value greater than 1, 2, okay, or 1.1. If you take, this will be positive, this will be positive. This means f dash prime in this interval will be positive. Okay, then what will happen? Then something like this happening. Okay, if f prime x is positive, this means my graph is in increasing form. Okay, first it decreases and then it increases. Okay, at f dash x it is equals to, at f dash of 1 it is equals to 0. You all know that. Okay, so this means this point will be what? This means this point will be your what? This point will be your f of 1, and this will be your local minima. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear to you. This point at x is equals to 1, f of 1 will be your local minima of f, local minimum value of f. Okay. Okay, now what about this f of okay, now we'll do for x is equals to minus 1. Okay, now for x is equals to minus 1, okay, this will be your what? Minus 1 minus h till minus 1. Okay, and minus 1 to minus 1 plus h. Okay, clear? Okay, now what is happening? The f dash sign will be in this interval. Take any value less than minus 1. Take minus 1 less than 1 will be minus 1.1. Okay, yes, minus 1.1. If you put minus 1.1, this will be negative. This will also be negative, as you can see. Yes, this, if you take any point in this interval close to minus 1, which is what? But from the left hand side of minus 1, then you all know minus 1.1 is less than minus 1. Yes, okay. Now what is happening? If you put minus 1.1, then what will be your sign? This will be negative, as you can see, and this will also be negative. This means positive. Okay, now if you take right hand side value, Okay, near to -1, this means you can take minus of 0.9. Okay, 0.9, so 3, this will be negative. This will be what? This will be positive, as you can see. This will be positive. So f dash prime sign will be what? Negative. As you can see, this sign is positive. This means the graph is increasing. The graph is increasing like this. The graph is increasing. Okay, the graph is increasing. If this is your -1 point, then if you move left to right towards -1, then what is happening to your graph? The graph is increasing. Why? Because f prime is positive. Okay, now in this interval, if you move right to left towards C, then what is happening? Then the graph is decreasing. Okay, the graph is decreasing in this interval. So this means this point will be your what? F of -1 will be the local maxima. The local maxima point. Okay, clear? Okay, I hope it is very clear to you that how we just use our first derivative test, or you can say the concept we just saw in today's session. We just use those. First, if you see such type of question, what you have to do, the first step to do is that find your first derivative, then put it equals to 0, and then whatever the values of x you got, these all will be your inflection, or these all will be your what? Candidates for local maxima, local minima, or inflection points. Okay, and then verify them in what interval you are getting what sign of f prime x. According to them, you can put that either it is maximum, either it is minimum, or it is just an inflection point. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So we will be ending up our today's session here. So okay, so thank you all. We will be back with a more theory and more example from this maximum and minimum topic of this chapter, applications of derivatives. Again, thank you.